Good evening. I just wanted to ask if you can verify that the court case, Ag and Markets versus Quasar, was in fact held this week in Albany, and what feedback you've received, and if anybody from Wheatfield went, in addition to, I assume, Steve Ricka. Well, the case was supposed to be held August 18th. In that 53-page document, it was supposed to be held or heard August 18th? Okay, because I thought it said August 18th.
That may have been just a control date when papers had to be submitted.
Okay.
I don't have a copy in front of me, but there is not a court date yet. In fact, there was initially a thought that there might not be an oral argument on it, but I was informed that the State Attorney General, who represents Ag and Markets, did request an oral argument, so that would be in Albany, but I believe, I know I have a note on my desk, I think early October, but I would have to double check that one again.
Okay, I'm going to look at, I have it on my iPad, so I'll look too. But a couple people outside the area asked about it, so.
No, there was nothing scheduled. In fact, last I talked to Chip, I thought he was waiting to, perhaps there might be a rebuttal from Quasar's attorney to what they had put in most recently, but no court date as of yet has occurred.
So did they file something in addition to what we filed? Do we have a copy?
We would file for Article 78. The
right.
town would file the Article 78, then they have an opportunity to answer the paperwork.
Have we seen that answer?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I would anticipate probably see it shortly, but I don't think I've seen it yet.
Okay, and then just one other thing. I see that there's a motion for to approve $2,500 to be paid to NU. I'm assuming that that's for one of the focus groups, and I don't have an issue with it, but I'm just wondering, is any of this going to go to the Ag focus group? Because we made a motion earlier. There was a motion for the Ag focus group to have Niagara University do some help with the marketing campaign and stuff, and that was voted down. So I'm just wondering if this relates to it, and you know why. You know, I'm not knowing how you're going to vote, but just wondering why one group might have preference over the other, since ours was voted down, or the Ag groups was voted down, I should say.
Kurt, you're involved with this, right? Is that the group that's the group that's looking at this project with Bill Angus?
And that's what we did, but didn't we already pay Drew Riley to do that? We all had a comprehensive task force, and we all met over at the community center and figured it out that we could add 30,000 more homes.
That much is already done. I would like to think it's more than that, but unfortunately Richard's not here this evening. He would have the best handle on that.
I'm not against having NU, but I just wonder why this, and again, I don't know how you're going to vote. I don't have an issue with it being approved, but I think then the Ag task force deserves the same benefit to have a group of graduate students working with them, because that's a pretty heavy lift as well.
Thank you. Nobody else has signed up. Is there anybody else who wishes to speak on any objects before the town, any subject before the town? If not, then we'll move on. Kathy, for the record, all members are present. Gentlemen, we do have a set of minutes. I have them here. What's the date? August 7th? The August 7th meeting. I need a motion to approve these.
So moved.
Moved by Randy, second by Gil. Anything that anybody wishes to change? If not, then all in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's approved. The bill change as was handed out before is slightly modified. The total amount of the bill payment is $319,704.69. I need a motion to pay these bills. Moved by Art. Do we have a second? Second by Larry. So you're asking to, for the moment, you're asking to just hold this bill. Okay, so that makes the bill pay a little smaller. Okay. Any others that anybody wishes to hold? If not, then all in favor of paying the $319,000 less the $239.99 signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That is approved. Departments, Paul. What's going on in highway? We do have a concern from the folks at Dewey Court, Jarrett Court. We got another message from them today. Can we get a meeting together with Soup Coat? Get somebody over there and talking with us as to what possibilities there might be? Is there any problem getting together with somebody from Soup Coat and meeting in Albany? Thank you. Anything for Paul?
I guess also we talked about the possibility of redoing that road, so when we meet them, let's give us some ballpark numbers at that time, if we opted to do that.
Anything else? Rich, water, sewer? Anybody? Mike, you're sitting again. If you can find it. It's time for you anyway.
Testing. All right. Okay. This weekend is one of our flagship events. Town picnic Sunday, flag raising at 11 a.m. It's one of our most pristine events we run all season. Looking forward to it. The weather is supposed to be thumbs up, right? Yeah. We deserve that. It's going to be a good day. A lot of hard work from a lot of good people that contribute and financially and just time and effort to put this event on for the residents. It's going to be a good day. The second thing I have, Supervisor Cliff sent me a note maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago from an Eagle Scout, James Rosansky, and I wanted to publicly thank him for the time and work that he did at Ward Cemetery on Lockport Road. Him and his father spent the weekend there last week, and I helped him out with just bringing some millings and some mulch over, and he revitalized that entire parcel. Looks fantastic. If you get a chance to go over there, he actually uncovered a lot of headstones that were thrown well into the tree line. It cleared out the whole tree line. Paul, there is a little bit of brush on Lockport Road, When the guys are out with the blocker, Ward Cemetery, that was done by an Eagle Scout. Just him and his dad. I stopped over there Saturday, so I just wanted to publicly thank him for his time and effort. He did a really good job. That's all I got.
We actually appreciate your working together with him, because it gives him a chance to meet his goals while he helps with them.
Absolutely.
Each year we get an offer from an Eagle Scout somewhere, and this is another one of those great years. Anything else for Mike? Mike Clark, building inspector? Something that's going to happen in one quick minute. Anything for Mike? The house on Stolting was up for auction. Did it sell? What Street in Washington? It'd be nice to see that house back alive too. Tommy.
Jake. Last piece too.
And thanks to you, I interrupted him.
Thank you. We have only one item on our agenda this evening, and it's our planning board report, and it is from the only one meeting that was held during the month of August, and that was on the 9th of August. The first item on the agenda was a sketch plan for the Dave Smith Medical Complex. The applicant proposes to develop approximately 14 acres of vacant land located behind the Dave Smith Chevrolet dealership near the southwest corner of Niagara Falls Boulevard and Williams Road. Approximately 5 acres of the site, which is zoned C1, is located in the town of Wheatfield, while the remaining 9 acres are located within the town of Niagara. Phase 1 of the project would include construction of a private road that would extend from the existing entrance at Niagara Falls Boulevard in the town of Niagara through the site and out to Williams Road in the town of Wheatfield. Phase 1 would also include water lines, sanitary sewers, and storm sewers for the road. All public utilities, including stormwater management, will be provided through the town of Niagara. Future phases of the development would include 3 medical buildings ranging in size from 16,000 square feet to 20,000 square feet in the town of Niagara, and up to 15,000 square feet of retail buildings in the town of Wheatfield. The applicant was advised of several items to include in their next submittal, including review of the Airport Zone 1 overlay, FAA and airport notification requirements, and coordination of the private road with the DOT. The Planning Board also expressed interest in meeting with the Town of Niagara Planning Board during this process. No action was required or taken. The second item was a site plan, which is for the Nicoletti self-storage. The applicant proposes to construct 3 buildings to house a total of 150 storage units of various sizes. In addition, 65 designated spaces of various sizes would be constructed outside for boat and RV storage. The 4.8 acre parcel is zoned M1 and is located at the southeast corner of Lockport Road and Walmore Road, and would have 2 gated entrances, one from each road. The project would be built in 2 phases and would require a review by the Niagara County Planning Board. The applicant was advised of several items to include and address with their next submittal, including again the Airport Zone 1 overlay, FAA and airport notification requirements, and coordination of the entrances with the Niagara County Department of Public Works. No action was taken on that site plan. The next item was a sketch plan for the Small World Daycare. They were in previously a couple of months ago with a sketch plan. This sketch plan proposes to construct a 1,900 square foot addition to the existing building located at 3793 Commerce Court. The previous proposed addition was on the front side and was extended into the existing setbacks. So this addition they're proposing on the back side of the building where they won't have any conflict with the setbacks. The applicant was advised of several items to include with their next submittal, including updating wetland delineations and locating the top of the adjacent ditch bank so that a conservation area determination could be made. No action was required or taken. The last item on that agenda was actually one that Mike just previously mentioned. Is a new sketch plan for the Niagara International Sports and Entertainment. The applicant now proposes to revise their site plan, which was previously approved by the Planning Board on May 4th, 2016. The revised plan proposes to construct 2 96,000 square foot metal buildings, as opposed to the domes, for their multi-purpose sports fields on the east side of the Summit Park Mall. The structures will be in a revised configuration from that previously approved, with one structure directly connected to the mall and the second connected to the first by a covered walkway. The structures will have 45-foot wall height with a 75-foot peak height. The applicant was advised of previously completed steps that must be redone, including the height variance from the ZBA, Fire Department and Fire Advisory Board review, utility and drainage design, and coordinated review under seeker. In addition, the new layout will disturb federally regulated wetlands, which will require the appropriate permitting by the Army Corps. No action was required or taken. As our summary from that meeting. Any questions?
All this traffic will come from the west side of the mall, coming like through the old food court and the ones that are going to the rear of the mall. There won't be any entrance into these zones. It'll all come through the front of the mall. That was what we were originally told.
I think that's still their plan. I think they may have to have some entrance from the back, but I don't believe it's clouded as the main entrance. They're connecting to a different location in the mall, and it looks like they're still proposing to do other work inside the mall at those locations. I believe I saw batting cages and something else right inside this area where they're proposing to connect to. Yes, they were exactly the same dimension. I believe it's 400 by 240, I believe. So now instead of just being an arch, they're going to have straight walls. I guess they'll get a little bit more clearance inside. Plus, I mean, there's other benefits. I believe from the previous meetings that were held with the public, they were worried about glow from inside at nighttime when the lights are on, the domes glowing from the outside. That won't be an issue now. They won't need all the HVAC equipment that they would have originally needed to keep the domes inflated, so noise concerns will be greatly reduced. So probably a good idea.
Thank you, Tim. Any other questions?
Matt, I guess we'll go through regular motion.
First motion is to authorize and approve the town supervisor, Robert Bushwick, to execute the grant disbursement agreement with the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York to support the state and municipalities by a facility program financial partnership to install permanent generators at the sewer lift station for the town of Wheatfield project ID 7521 in the fair amount of $300,000. I'll make the motion.
Moved by Larry. Do we have a second by Art? Anything on the question? This is the grant which we were talking about for the better part of 2 years for certain sewer stations, correct? what they had told us about that we were getting the grant roughly 2 years ago. What's the percentage on the grant? Is there any town pay? I was on vacation, folks. I did not have a chance to read it all. Sorry. $75, $25. Okay. Anything else on the question? I'm sorry? You can't hear me? Larry, I guess that's coming up a little bit. Last time we had some crackling in the microphone system, and Mike was trying to take that out before the meeting. We'll do our best. Where are we? Is there anybody has anything further to say on the grant? If not, then all in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's approved.
Next motion is to authorize and approve the town supervisor of to execute the grant disbursement agreement with the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York for the State Municipality Facility Program Grant to purchase and install a facility spec at the landfill of Ellington in the town of Wheatfield, project ID 7504, and the grant amount of $75,000.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Art, second by Gil. Anything on the question? This has to do with the landfill. This is the grant which we've been expecting. We finally got the paperwork on it. We'll send it in. We probably won't get it back for another 6 months, but at least we know it's in process. If nothing further, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved.
Next motion is to authorize the town supervisor to approve and execute the agreement for 2017 dealing with professional services provided to the town by GHC Consultants Business Inc. Said initial approval appointing GHC Consultants for these duties was approved at the town board for January 5th, 2017 reorganization meeting for the calendar year 2017. Said agreement was for the term commencing January 5th, 2017 and terminating December 31st, 2017, ending at the same term, 2016 agreement.
Okay, we need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Randy. Need a second? Need a second. Second by Art. Basically, this is a contract that we're signing now that we really should have signed in January when we approved them as town engineer. And the paperwork just never came to us, so it never got put on the agenda. Anything on the question? This has to do just with the general contract services of GHC for the year. We just never signed a contract. Anything further? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
To authorize the town grant writer to perform New York State CAC TAP grant program for the town while instances for consideration of a TAP grant for sidewalks and city roads will not be utilized in said grant, and therefore respectfully reject the grant award.
So moved. Moved by Art. Need a second?
Second.
Second by Gil. Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None opposed. And that's 4-1. Get that letter out.
Okay, the next motion, I believe, has been modified slightly. There's three sections. I'll try to summarize the proposed changes now. We have to approve encumbrance included in the 2017 2018 budget for $25,000. Okay,
Okay, Ed, we cannot encumber. Is it better to just take this out of $17, or do we have to wait until 18 to pay? But either way, it's going to come out of one budget or the other in its entirety. That's what. Okay. So if we're talking about paying it next year, then we are indeed encumbering.
Encumbering or including it? Okay. So the motion would be to approve the including of $2,500 in the 2018 budget proposed to be paid to Maryland University to provide for expenses in a class-specific program on Wheatfield Street residential development and expansion and other economic development possibilities for the town of Wheatfield. And I guess the remainder of it as presented is unnecessary.
Okay, I'll go ahead and make that motion.
I'll second it.
Second by Art. Anything on the question? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Regarding that, Julie, your question, it needs to come up from below. It would have to come through Richard and Walt as they're in charge of the budget funds. Okay.
Make a motion to authorize the town attorney to complete the closing process for the Hall Road project. Additionally, the motion authorizes the town to expend the necessary funds and issue a check for the remaining purchase price of the property and the necessary closing costs.
I'll go ahead and make this motion. Need a second?
The purchase price of the property is $39,900.
That's correct. This was the original offer which was made and accepted. Pardon? Oh, we plan to put a $1,000 deposit down to put in the offer. Scratching that was going on. Okay, I have a motion by myself. Need a second.
I'll second it for the amount of $38,900.
There will
Is that correct?
A few reporting costs, the standard typical reporting costs at the clerk for the recipient of the transfer.
So it's $1,000 to apply, $38,900 for the land, and closing costs.
Closing costs is a couple $100, maybe $200, somewhere in that neighborhood.
All right, let me just revise it. I'll just go with the $39,900. I'll leave it at that. Plus closing costs.
I'll go ahead with that. So we are dealing with, basically that's the way it's written. The number which was originally approved was $39,900 for the purchase price. Anything else on the question? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None approved.
Okay, the last motion to authorize and grant Anthony C. Barone Custom Home 2 model home permit for the 80th Street subdivision, and that no certificate of occupancy shall be issued until the roads, water, sewer, and any other necessary improvements in said subdivision have been accepted for dedication and subject to payment of all required permit fees.
Need a motion?
So moved.
I think I heard Randy first. Larry, do you want a second? Anything on the question? Not, then all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. That's our first. Next we go to board member items. Larry, anything?
I sent an email already gone through the procedure of declaring it surplus, publishing it as surplus. Any public referendum against sale at the time is expired, but we have requested it to be sold via sealed bid. Sealed bids due 12 noon on Monday, September 18th, 2017 at the town clerk's office here. And the bid would be opened at that evening's board meeting, September 18th at 7:30 p.m. It's sealed bids with a request the right to refuse any and all bids, and the minimum bid we have set is $45,000. And it is on Ontario Drive. There's no street address. SBL number 177.01-3-496. Thank you. That's all I have.
And that'll be published in the Tribune and Gazette?
Yeah, we're going to be doing some publishing is really, and the posting is what's legally necessary. We'll go a little bit above and beyond.
Larger signs that Paul indicated, and some direct mailings to neighbors so they can be aware if they're interested, or developers in town, anyone that might have a possible interest in the property.
Anything else there? Gil?
I don't have anything this evening.
Art? Then maybe you can help me. Is there approximately $1,000 of discretionary cash with each one of the councilmen that they can take to use for certain funds that would be beneficial to the town? I would think that there is a given amount of money which is contractual for the councilman. And I would think any member can make a motion for anything out of that money. I don't think there's anything that would designate only 1,000 or up to 1,000 for any individual councilman.
Okay, the reason I ask is I would like to, and I think I mentioned it last meeting, I'd like to upgrade and clean up the helicopters that are out in front of the highway department. There might be a couple pieces of glass to clean up. There is a paint that I have, OD green, that I've got a line on so I can get a little bit of paint. The labor will all be volunteers. And then maybe some of the seat coverings. The birds got inside and they made nests out of everything. They just made a hell of a mess out of it. So, and I want to thank Highway. Thank you, Paul. I guess you guys started going in there and cleaning up and getting them out of there. But I think we need to secure it. Let's get it cleaned up and painted. Let's get the main rotor tied down. And let's get it back to where it's presentable, because it is, quite frankly, as the one veteran commented to me, it's kind of a disgrace to let it go that far. So that was the reason for my asking if there were funds available. I don't know how much it'll be, guys. I'll tell you, it may be a couple, $300. I'll put the money out to get the work done, and then come back to you to see if you will approve it. Is that agreeable?
Or you can simply make a motion for that to be passed by the board.
Well, I could do that. I don't know how much it would be at this point. That's my problem.
You could say not to exceed 1,000.
Not to exceed $1,000, so be it.
I'd be happy to second that motion. Anything further on the question, anybody? All in favor of approving that motion?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And I'll update any of you if you have any questions about what I'm trying to do, and I'll certainly welcome your help to do this work. You can't scrape the helicopter. It has a protective coating on it for radar protection, but we can get the paint, and I've got a guy that I know used to fly, and he's going to get us a line on the seats. We're going to change the configuration inside a little bit and really make it look halfway decent.
Good. Anything else? Randy?
Just the Ag Focus Group is meeting tomorrow night at 7 p.m. By the way, we did take a tour about a month ago, and a few people that took the tour, and that was really interesting. We went to a winery, to a dairy farm. We went to a fruit farm, and then we ended up at Lombardi? Lockport. But it was a nice tour just to see some business and some agricultural farms in the Niagara County area. And other than that, is the fence all set on the landfill, Tim? Are we all set with New York State fence?
Okay. That's
For
all.
them, meaning the contractor.
Ken indicated they would email the site worker today. I have not received anything yet.
Okay.
Okay, I have nothing. Our next meeting is scheduled for September 7th at 7:30. Kathy, we don't have any preliminaries, so it'll be 7:30 on September 7th, which brings us back to public input. Again, if there's anybody that wishes to speak on any subject. Arlene? Ah, nice. Very good. Thanks for letting me know. The immediate problem was they were attempting to sell. It was actually up for auction, and if it had gone to somebody else, we have no control over it. By doing this, we at least have some control over it. I don't think there's any intention on turning that into a usable road. There's no room back there to build houses unless you buy that property plus the one next to it. We would definitely have liability if somebody brought it to our attention and then got hurt on it, yeah. It is gated. It could probably use some maintenance. I'm sure Paul will take care of it the way he takes care of all things. And that I see as being a lesser problem. And there is a question as to whether we want to sell portions of it off as long as we keep enough to maintain the road and the ditch, because the ditch is on that same property. Without that ditch, we're in deep trouble. I think there actually is a time limit in on the other projects and the IDA side of those projects, and they have to go back and be reapproved if they're going to go on to next year. So that's another process they have to go through, but that doesn't hit us personally. Anybody else on any subject? Okay, if not, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved and seconded, all in favor?